Will Mike Stanton made it back from New York. He was in the Bronx. We'll talk about that. Carlos Correa's homecoming. El Reptil on the mound. Alex Bregman was back. Some great things happened. And we got a shocking update on the health of the best closer in baseball.
I'm looking to the bullpen to bring my lefty in. Keep the lead and make your team look pedestrian. It's in your wheelhouse, we'll swing for the fence. You know it's money around here, man, I ain't talking expense. Strike one, heat a low in the way, you can't hit it. You know you want to start a rally, but you better forget it. Strike two, off speed, same spot, your car looking. Get ready at the plate, this time you're not cooking. Strike three, swinging out of the zone. You ain't even touch it first. Tell me how they gonna drive you home. Walk it back, looking like we ain't cool then. The game's over, might as well put them back to the bullpen, oh yeah.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the bullpen. Myself and Mike Stanton are back like always. And, you know, not just back to the bullpen, but Mike is back from the Bronx, and we'll get to that here in a second. You know, we'll talk about that because I want to know about it. We heard about Roger Clemens and some other people there, and I want to hear about your experience. Look, Wheelhouse Media Company, here's the deal. We need you to subscribe to Wheelhouse Media. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because right now, if we can get 500 subscribers added to our channel by tomorrow night's Houston Sports Download, these two tickets that you're looking at in section 132, row 6, seat 10 and 11, we're giving away one pair of tickets to Wednesday's game.
Nice.
So we've got tonight, all day tomorrow, up until Houston Sports Download, Mike. So we figured, why not let the listeners, a lucky winner, win tickets and go watch Hunter Brown pitch against the Red Sox.
Yeah, this is not the Kansas City Royals. The Pittsburgh Pirates are not in town, and nothing against those guys. This is the Boston Red Sox, man. This is a one of those premier matchups. And Hunter Brown, oh my goodness. Let's go, people. 500.
And look, this is authentic. This is from the official Wheelhouse Media group. Derek had even texted, get the meatloaf. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that here in a second.
What is she doing? I never know what she's doing back there.
I don't know, Mom. I remember my daughter years ago, her mom had made some meatloaf, and apparently she was making them eat this meatloaf for days. And I went to pick her up, and she goes, finally, the meatloaf has mold on it.
Hey, I ain't hating eating meatloaf for days.
No.
Not at all. I'm on board with that every day.
Oh, man. So, Mike, you went to the Bronx, man. Y'all celebrated the 25th anniversary of the 2000 World Series winning Yankees team, correct?
Yep, that was the third year of the 3 in a row.
Wow.
The team won, what was it? 4 out of 5, went to 5 out of 6 World Series. And that was the Subway Series against the Mets. And it was awesome. This is the second time I went back a couple years ago. We celebrated the 98 team. Last year didn't celebrate the 99 team because the last time the Yankees won the World Series was in 2009. It was also the year that the new Yankee Stadium opened. So they celebrated that team, and then they brought us back in for this year, 25th anniversary. It's crazy that it's been that long, but it was great seeing the guys. It was and on top of everything else, we actually got on the field and got to play. It was awesome. It was a perfect day. Everything was great. And how about this? Now you got to remember, people, if you've never seen me pitch, go look at YouTube. I was a left-handed pitcher. I played second base in Yankee Stadium. Yes, I did. Believe it. Got a base hit, not a very good base hit, but got a base hit off of El Duque.
Nice.
It was big fun, and it would have been a perfect day if there was only one tragedy, and that was so. Last year we had a unanimous inductee into the Hall of Fame.
Okay,
that was Mariano Rivera, best closer ever. Okay,
right.
First time any player had gotten 100% of the votes. It was his day. The ceremony on the field was absolutely spectacular. The montage they put up on the screen for all of us, they kind of did it for all of us, but they didn't, usually when you do these things, the person that is introduced last is usually the manager. Joe Torre was introduced second to last. Last person introduced, Mariano Rivera. And, jogged out on the field. Everything was great. He had an at-bat in the first inning, got a base hit. Somewhere between going into the dugout and coming back on the field, he got an injury. And didn't know at the time. I was playing second base, and I look back, and he's playing center field. And I look back, and he's kind of limping off the field, and he goes, I'm done. No, he goes, no, I'm really done. I'm hurt. And I was like, hey, listen, just stand out there, dude. This is your day. This is, this is for you. And listen, if anything needs, the ball goes out there, one of us will go get it, but you just stand there. Well, he gets back to the dugout. We find out he goes upstairs. He ruptured his Achilles. And I mean, to the point that I believe he has to have surgery.
Oh my goodness.
The crazy thing is, this very well could be the best athlete that was on the field, even in everybody's prime. That's how good of an athlete Mariano was. And just unfortunate that, the game did get cut a little bit short. I didn't get to pitch. I wanted to pitch. I really wanted to pitch.
Yeah.
But other than that injury and that kind of stinks. It was awesome. It was perfect.
That's awesome. So I saw something about did Roger Clemens get a hit?
I don't think Roger hit. He was the starting pitcher on the team that I was on.
Okay.
The
But
starting
he didn't
pitcher
hit
for the other team, and I think it was the Bombers and the Clippers is how they divided up the team. And Andy Pettit started for the other team. So, we had our team had, it was Roger, and then I think Ron Guidry pitched Gator. And then David Cohn, that was all in the first inning. That's when we finally got out of the inning. And Pettit threw the first inning for the other team. And then El Duque threw the second inning. And that's who I got my at-bat against was El Duque. Orlando Hernandez.
So you got a hit off of him.
I did.
There you go.
And, one of the things I preach to all of my students, my hitters, my pitchers, everything, this game is about timing. And Duque was throwing ridiculously slow. It was hard to wait on it, but I did squeak one through the right side.
That's awesome. I love it. So, right side. That means you went opposite field because you're a lefty, right?
No, right side.
Oh, right side. Okay. Yeah.
The 3-4 hole. I dribbled one through the 3-4.
Hey, man. Hey. You know what?
Exit velocity, every bit of 50, 55, maybe a little harder than that. But I did not hit the ball very hard.
Speaking of tributes, I don't know if you saw the tribute that they did in Seattle for Ichiro. Ichiro. So Ichiro and, they had their Hall of Fame weekend, kind of like the Astros, right. Have done for Billy Wagner or are doing for Billy Wagner.
Yeah.
And so they had Randy Johnson come out and catch a pitch because he wore 51 with the Mariners. Mm-hmm. Ichiro wore 51. Well, Ichiro throws the pitch. Now, I don't know if this was planned or if he just did this. He threw the ball 51 miles an hour. Now, I don't know. I'm just saying Ichiro is that kind of magic kind of a player.
Yeah. I don't. Well, listen, to start off with, Ichiro had as good an arm as pretty much anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, he had.
Exactly.
Now, the thing was, I don't know if you guys know Ichiro. He was not a big guy. He was kind of skinny. He was kind of little. He actually had big pop. You ever watch him in BP? But he had a freaking cannon. Now, we're all older. Nobody throws as hard as they used to, that kind of thing. Kind of also hard to know exactly how hard. Now, I wonder if maybe the numbers were massaged just to make sure.
They might. I just figure if there's
51's not very hard.
No, but here's the thing. If anyone can do that, it seems like Ichiro
Could be
that guy.
Because there weren't a whole lot of things on a baseball field Ichiro couldn't do.
And Mike, I didn't realize, like, I knew how good he was, but looking back, like, there were a lot of things that happened in my lifetime growing up watching baseball that until you remove yourself from that era, you go, oh my gosh. I mean, when you talk about guys like Barry Bonds, just the greats, you just look back in retrospect and you're just at all.
And even when you're involved and you're seeing greatness, you just really don't. It just doesn't register. I mean, I did the same thing with the montage for Mariano, and I look back and I remember everything that they did. I mean, we played together for 7 years, but. You go, oh man, and just how he got the job and as the closer and all that kind of stuff. Hi, Amy. It was just, it just chills go down your spine to think about this little skinny and Ichiro. Well, Ichiro's a little different because Ichiro came over as one of the best hitters in the world, even though he hadn't been in Major League Baseball yet, but. They didn't know if Mariano was going to be able to close. He only threw one pitch, and he was 155 pounds, 160 pounds.
Oh, he's a tiny
he was
guy.
Silky smooth delivery. And it's just like, man, nobody can square this dude up. And 600 plus saves later, he's the first unanimous Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that was insane. You absolutely love to see that. But talk about guys that make their mark on a city. Carlos Correa. When he left, I think it was as big of a shock as any player leaving because for years, and I even talked about this with my Locked On MLB cohorts, Sully over there. He's like, that's the one guy that I can't picture in any other uniform other than an Astros uniform.
Yeah.
And he likened it. Imagine if Aaron Judge was anything other than a Yankee. There are certain players that they just wear that uniform, or Ichiro, not be, of course, Ichiro played other teams, but you identify him with that. But Carlos Correa was that guy that was supposed to stay. He left.
Well, you got to remember, I mean, you go all the way back to the draft, #1 pick,
exactly.
Everything that happened, him even taking less money so they could go out and get Lance McCullers Jr. For all the pool money and all that kind of, I mean, we heard about Carlos from day one. I mean, it was, he was the heir apparent at shortstop.
And I remember, Mike, his first playoff game in Yankee Stadium. They asked him, this is your first playoff game in Yankee Stadium. When you stepped out on the field, were you intimidated? Were you nervous? And he goes, why would I be nervous? He goes, I've been preparing for this since I was 5. Like,
no doubt. I mean, he went to a baseball academy high school.
Yeah.
I mean, he really, and it's one of the reasons why he was so great with the media is because he was taught it. And so, yeah, Correa was, but when you go back, I mean, the laundry list of players that have left, whether it's, Springer, it's Correa, they did a great montage of welcome home to Alex Bregman today. I mean, you look at the talent that has left, it's really remarkable that this team is still in the position they are in. But it also shows the ugliness of the business side of baseball.
Exactly. And you've talked about it a lot on this station, a lot on this show about how even before we started Back to the Bullpen about the whole arbitration process where, you're the player and they're the team and they've got to tell you, you know what, they may have signed you, but you're terrible.
You suck. You stink for an hour. And then your representative gets to tell him how you're the best player on the freaking planet for an hour.
It's like, it's okay, man. I'll get you dinner tonight.
Right.
I can imagine, and then your agent becomes more of a counselor at that time. But yeah,
Well, that can go both ways too. I mean,
True.
there was one time, the one time I went through arbitration, it was actually against. I was with the Red Sox. There was one time I was going over the table. He had to pull my shirt tail. There was another time my agent was going over the table. I had to pull his shirt tail. It was, it was. And it can get heated. It can get heated.
No, I love to hear that. And then you had when Alex Bregman came back and they did that montage. I mean, I've seen a lot of montages and I've seen a lot of tributes, and clubs go out there to try to. The goal is to captivate who you were when you were here.
Sure.
And I just thought whoever did that video orchestrated it perfectly.
Right.
I love how they, at one point went back to him being, drafted number 2. And then they showed his number 2 3 or 4 times because that's why he wore the number 2. And then, showed his hallmark moment from the 2017 World Series where Derek Fisher scored. And, it was the walk-off. It was that marathon game 5 and just everything, raising the trophies and all that stuff. You just know that when he was watching that, he was like, man, and he's out there looking at Correa and Altuve doing it now.
Still there.
Yeah, just like, oh, man. But look, I think if there's anywhere where he fits, Boston is a great place for Bregman.
I said that at the end of the season last year, if there was one place other than the Astros that he is a Red Sox type player. And what I mean by that is Dustin Pedroia. He's Dustin Pedroia at third base. Plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's always dirty. He plays with swag. He plays with attitude. And that's what, I played for the Boston Red Sox twice. And he is the epitome of a Red Sox type player, also an Astro type player.
Yeah.
So, but that was where I thought that was the perfect fit. And actually, in a way, I thought it might even have been a better fit for him in Boston than it was here in Houston.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, he loves that green monster. He loves that left field
that's
out
why.
there in Boston.
Just wear that thing out.
Oh, yeah.
And why was it one of the reasons why he was so good here at then Minute Maid was the Crawford boxes.
So, he has said that he's not making any contractual decisions until after the season because he has an opt-out. Ben even here says if they don't make the playoffs this year, Bregman will opt out. He wants to win, and he does want to win. And now I don't think he comes back here because there is literally nowhere.
He's having a great season.
He's having a great season, but there's really nowhere for him to play.
No.
We
talked about that, the trade deadline, bringing in, other people.
Exactly.
Of course, they still pulled the wool over our eyes and brought back Correa.
So El Reptil came in. Christian Javier.
Yes.
He gave up the 2-run home run to Alex Bregman. It was almost poetic, right? Now, after that, Alex Bregman got booed the next 3 at-bats. I'm like, come on.
No. I got no problem with that whatsoever.
Really?
Because, pregame, all that kind of stuff, you give him the cheer, he comes up the first time, standing ovation, whatever it may be. After that, he's a freaking Red Sox.
Oh,
now it's time it's time to let him know.
See, I was trying to be the reasonable guy.
One at bat.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'll take the former major leaguer on this one. I'll take your out. But Christian Javier comes out, and one of the things, the reason why he has the nickname El Reptil is because he's cold-blooded. They say
heartbeat.
He just pitches. Yeah. And you talk the difference between, many times there's pitchers and there's throwers. Mm-hmm. He's a pitcher. And what is the number one thing that a pitcher can't do? If you give up a hit, you can't worry about it. If you give up a home run, you can't worry about it because you're not getting it back. Right. You just have to stick to your game plan. And that's where I think, Mike, if Christian Javier can be even 80% of what he was in that 2022 season, this is a huge boost for this Astros rotation going into the late part of the season and into the playoffs.
And he was good tonight. He really was. I mean, he gave up the 2 runs, but it was on one swing. Only gave up 3 hits, walked a couple, struck out a few. but average fastball velocity was 93.5, got up to,
Right.
95 plus. You saw the action, the spin on the breaking
Yes.
balls was there. Now, one of the problems he had in his rehab starts was he had as many walks as he did strikeouts. I think it was about 15 of both. He had a few walks today, but not anything severe. So I thought this was a very good first start back, and hopefully he can build on it from there.
Yeah, and he even added a changeup into his repertoire this time.
Well, he's had a changeup. He's had it, but he just didn't. He didn't really
use it.
Yeah, he didn't trust it. He also was throwing some, they were calling them sinkers, but I had two-seam fastballs. So you had the four-seam fastball and the two-seam fastball, the changeup. They no longer call his slider a slider. It's now a sweeper.
Right.
Okay. Just to let people know, it's still a slider. And then he even threw some of the knuckle curves in there, which has a little bit more depth on it. And I thought he mixed and matched exactly like we've seen. He looked good. I mean, he really did. He didn't look any worse for wear of being out for well over a year, 15 months.
Yeah, I mean, since May 2024 was the last time he pitched. That's a long time off. That's a long time away, especially being a starter. Now, one of the things that is kind of getting exposed here lately is the middle relief's getting roughed up. And I want to talk to you about that because Hector Neris, since he's returned, has not been good. He's been he's an emotional guy.
Yeah.
He's a clubhouse guy. Mm-hmm. He just celebrated his 10th year. And I told Eric, I'm like, oh, look, I'm all about, presence and celebrating, years of service, but like this guy's got to start contributing. I don't know what he's doing or not doing, but he just has not been good since he's come over.
Well, I don't want to call him old because he's not all that old, but why were the Astros able to get him? Well, because someone else released him. He wasn't pitching well before he came over.
Right.
That's
now,
true. The one thing that Hector Neris is going to do, he's going to take the ball each and every time you offer it to him. And that's something that, isn't always the case. Not that the pitchers don't want to pitch, but, they will let him go out there 3 days in a row. They don't have a problem with that. So there is some value there, but I understand what you're saying. There just hasn't been a whole lot of quality, coming out of Hector Neris. And, with all of, there's still more guys on the horizon coming back off the IL, and there has to be roster spots. So, we'll have to wait and see exactly what Dana Brown and company decide to do.
Yeah, I just think, guys like him, Okert, Okert has not been great. Like, he had a really good start to the year. He's been a little shaky, but I don't want to hang everything on the pitchers because, you had Javier start with the 5 strikeouts. Caleb Ort came in, did a really good job, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. But there was a player of the game given by the Astros network, and it was Roman Urias, 3 for 4 tonight, a 2-run home run. It was his first home run as an Astro.
Yeah, got 3 knocks. Yeah.
But Chas McCormick, his 2-run home run was the difference in the game.
Off of one of the best in the American League in Garrett Crochet. I mean, to tell you the truth, the swing kind of surprised me because we haven't really seen that swing. Got the head out, drove the ball out of the ballpark. That was good to see. And his first home run of 2025.
Yeah, no, exactly. But Chas McCormick needs to get in there. Chas McCormick, if he's going to be in the lineup, he's got to contribute, Yeah. And I'll continue to say this until people get tired of hearing it. As long as the guys in the lineup are doing their job, I don't care what the name on the back of the uniform is. It doesn't matter to me if it's Trammell hitting a home run in Yankee Stadium or if it's Urias here or heck, when Chas McCormick gets in, contribute, do something, Jeff Blum had his famous the meatloaf. Where's the meatloaf? Tonight. So, stuff like that's good to hear. And I know Chas is a fan favorite. And I feel like sometimes as a player, and maybe you could speak to this real quickly, do these guys sometimes, do they ever kind of lose focus or feel like they lose themselves if they're not contributing, if they're not having success, if they're not in the lineup? And that's got to be a tough ditch to climb out of.
Listen, the confidence is not something, just because you're in the big leagues, just because you've had success, doesn't mean you're still confident, just like you are when you're balling, when you're going out there and striking everybody out, or you're crushing the ball or whatever. Confidence goes up and down, just like it does for, non-baseball players. We're all human.
Right.
And so, to tell you the truth, some of the most insecure players I played with were some of the best players in the league, even Hall of Famers.
Wow.
I mean, that's just the way, the nature of the sport. It's the nature of being a human being. So, that is something. And to tell you the truth, the whole idea of the bottom part of the lineup are guys that, aren't the marquee names. That's kind of who's been contributing all year, whether it's, guys in the bullpen, whether it's, 3 or 4 different starters coming up from the minor leagues to go into the rotation and holding their own, whether it's guys that, whoever getting big hits, getting big outs in the middle of the game, whatever it is. That's kind of what has been the Astros' forte this year, just simply because they've had so many injuries, but they've been able to they were able to build a lead. Now the lead with tonight's game, it's up to 1 game over the Seattle Mariners. So
we gained a half game, but you know what? I'll take it at this point.
That's right. That's right. All it means, and listen, the Texas Rangers aren't going away either. They're 6.5 games back. So, we thought this was going to be a tight race, and, we're here, I guess we'll call this middle of August. School's about to start, but I'll tell you what, we're about to get down to the nitty gritty here as far as Major League Baseball is concerned down the stretch.
Exactly. Steely Bob, I have not heard about any formal update on Jake Myers. If I get one or I can find one before the show ends, I'll let you know.
Aren't we giving away some tickets?
That's what I was about to do, man. I was about to show them, look, if we're going to talk about the playoff atmosphere that is the Astros versus the Red Sox right now, you need to get in on this. So if we gain 500 new subscribers, that means we have got to get up to 1,683 subscribers on our YouTube channel. When we air Houston Sports Download tomorrow night, we will be giving away a pair of tickets. Look, section 132, row 6. These are good seats. These are prime seats. Bring your glove because you probably could get a foul ball. So come to the channel. If you're already subscribed, we need you to go to the channel and show your friends. Look, take their phone from them, go to YouTube and subscribe to Wheelhouse Media. I mean,
when you go over to Ma's to eat her meatloaf, make sure she's subscribed. Your grandmother,
Mom, everybody.
School, actually, it's not. School hasn't. Well, for some schools, school has started.
Yeah, school started, but we got the cell phone ban we're dealing with now.
Yeah, that's true. Well, after school. After school.
Before 8 and after 4. It's crazy. We're not going to go there.
Mom's sitting in the pickup line. Right. Let's go.
That's what I should do. I should just go. I should do that. No, but
you can't have your kid unless you subscribe.
That's right. Unless you subscribe. Yeah. I might get charged with bribery there. I actually had some kids falsely accuse me of bribing them, telling them that if they subscribe to my YouTube channel, that I would give them a passing grade on the final exam. And I was like, that never happened.
As much as we want subscriptions, that seems a little steep.
It's a little petty. And this was like 3 or 4 years ago when I first started doing YouTube.
Oh, this was okay. Yeah.
Yeah. This was like pre-Wheelhouse, pre-Back to the Bullpen. This was when we first started, when I was over there locked on. But yeah, definitely look, Mr. J Thunder told his friend to subscribe. There you go. Hey, it only takes a spark to get a fire started, kids. So we're going to have to wrap it up with deep. This.
That is deep.
Well, love can only go so far. No. So Josh Hader, it was announced today that they knew this morning that he was having issues with shoulder soreness, and he would have to have test run to see what's going on. So shoulder soreness is a very generic term.
Yes.
Mike, is there concern for the Astros if their closer is out for a significant amount of time?
Oh, of course. I mean, I think there's concerns even right now, even if he's only out for a few days, because, what is the ultimate cure for, having a generic injury like this? Well, it's rest. There's, God did not create us to throw overhand. That's why our elbows break and things go wrong. Same thing with our shoulders. So yeah, it is a concern. We'll keep our fingers crossed that it's not anything that is major, that maybe he can just take a little bit of time off and then get right back into the closer role, because, he is really the catalyst of this bullpen. When you build a bullpen, you don't build it from the 5th inning or 6th inning on. You build it from the 9th inning backwards.
Right.
With him being the closer, that just sets everything up prior to that. Now, Bennett Sousa looked very good today and coming in and striking out the last hitter of the game, but still they need Josh Hader to anchor that bullpen and let everybody else in front of him settle into those roles.
Yeah, and Ben does say this. He said it hurts, but Abreu and Sousa can step in. He's 100% confident Abreu can do the job. Yeah. I'm just worried about them keeping a lead until the 8th.
Well, what it really does, even if you have someone that deals as the closer, it still shortens your options earlier in the game.
True.
Because if Abreu has to pitch the 9th now you can't have him pitch the 8th. And listen, with the way starting pitchers are now, there's usually roughly 12 outs that have to be gotten. At least 12 outs have to be gotten every single night. And with the way that bullpens and the all bullpens, but the Astros bullpen is run, you're not going to run a guy out there, 4 or 5 days a week, 3 days in a row. You're not going to do it. So you need a lot of options down there. But having, you said it earlier, the best closer in baseball anchoring your bullpen, that's just a comfort blanket for everyone in front of him.
It is, yeah, and hopefully it's just maybe a 15-day stint, maybe a 10-day. I know Sean.
Well, you never know. The way the reason they just said, was it shoulder soreness, a shoulder inflammation, whatever it was. Yes, it's generic on purpose. They don't want to say anything. They don't know. There's going to be tests being run there. All that's going to happen. But you know what? The Astros don't really like to tell us what's going on anyways. So
what gives you that idea, Mike? Why would you say such a thing?
Only history. You're the history teacher.
That's right. Just look, there's receipts. Trust me. I talk about them all the time. It's actually quite frustrating.
So is there concerns? Yes, but let's not panic. Let's not have, there's no reason to go there yet. Let's see what's really going on, what the time frame is. And listen, the Astros still have pretty good arms down there in their bullpen.
They do. So we're just going to pause the worry button right now. We're not going to worry about that. I want to answer a question real quick. Jay Thunder says, "Hey, Brett, quick question. How'd you come up with the name H-Town Wheelhouse?" Well, real quick, I wanted to be known on Twitter at the time, formerly known as, it's X. And I wanted something to go with H-Town. I had seen other people use the H-Town name. And I just remember growing up, I loved the term wheelhouse and I used it a lot. So I was like, hey, I could be H-Town Wheelhouse. And I just decided one day and I changed my name and the rest is history.
That's not the real reason.
What?
The real reason is because his name is Brett. That's the real reason. He had to come up with something.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Sorry, Mama Wheelhouse.
Wow. Man. God, Mike dropped that. You went to the Bronx and got some of that Bronx.
I got spicy. I got saucy.
Oh man, you just went up there for New York slice and gave me a whole pie, man.
That's it.
Good Lord. Wow. Yeah, that was, look at that damn cold blow by Mike.
Just call it how I see it, folks. Call it how I see it.
That's right. That's right. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, man, look, Wheelhouse Media Company, you guys have to come check us out in Pearland. This is a great place where you can be creative, where you can bring your ideas to light. You can become the creative that you want to be. Photo studio, podcast studio, sound booth. We even got a kitchen if you want to do a lifestyle or a cooking show. If you have a business and you need help marketing, affiliate marketing, anything like that, we're here for you. Just go to wheelhousemediastudios.com, fill out the form, and stop by. Let's get you in the doors. Let's talk to you. Let's have you meet Wesley, myself, anybody else we can talk to you. We had a great event at Tom's Watch Bar this last weekend. We're looking forward to many more. And then officially rolling out some more sponsorships with local businesses as well. So, Mike, we go into game 2. The Astros snapped a streak that the Red Sox had against them. So they had lost like 4 or 5 in a row. So now they snapped that. They got 2 more. I'll be there tomorrow night with my friend Ron, watching the Astros play the Red Sox. And don't forget, help us get to 500 more subscribers on our YouTube channel. If you do that, everybody listen.
You get to go to game 3. You have a chance to go to game 3.
Exactly. You have a chance to go to game 3. 2 tickets on us. Now, we have 390 people watching right now. Mm-hmm. And I think across all platforms, almost 1,000. And I know out of those 390 to 1,000, there's probably about 400 of y'all who have not yet subscribed. So just all you got to do is subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. Just click that button, even hit the notification button. Tomorrow night, go back to Houston Sports Download, and we'll do the official giveaway.
There you go. It couldn't be simpler. And you get to go to see a big league baseball game day after tomorrow. Possibly.
That's right. You heard it from the big leaguer himself, the old 2-9er, as they call him.
The old 2-9er, the tired old
reliable lefty. They're like, go get Stanton. Well, why? Because it is a day that ends in Y. Because you pitched every day of the week, right?
It sure seemed that way. Mike's
like, Coach, what now here? No. See, that's a difference.
No, actually, to tell you the truth,
let me pitch.
To tell you the truth, there were times that they wanted to give me days off. I told them no.
Oh, I love it.
I came to the ballpark, and were there times that I shouldn't have been out there? Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I came to the ballpark every day, regardless of what I did yesterday, the day before, and I wanted to play. I always considered myself a baseball player. I just happened to pitch. I was an everyday player that just happened to pitch.
There you go. Well, I'm excited because Spencer Arrigetti's pitching tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to him doing good things. These guys getting more in the groove. I'll have my phone there. I'll be sharing the word about Wheelhouse Media and about Back to the Bullpen. So y'all make sure you subscribe, like, comment, everything. And thank y'all from myself, from Mike. Welcome back from New York. Welcome back to God's country. Welcome back to Texas.
I don't disagree with that. I do not disagree with that.
All right, Mike. This has been a great show. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one. Go Stros.
Adios.
I'm looking to the bullpen to bring my lefty in. Keep the lead and make your team look pedestrian. It's in your wheelhouse, we'll swing for the fence. You know it's money around here, and I ain't talking expense. Strike 1, heat a low in the way, you can't hit it. You know you wanna start a rally, but you better forget it. Strike 2, off speed, same spot, your car looking. Get ready at the plate, this time you're not cooking. Strike 3, swinging out of the zone. You ain't even touch it first. Tell me how they gonna drive you home. Walk it back, looking like we ain't cool then. The game's over, might as well put on back to the